do you trust the admins? Do you trust whoever the admins might hand over that spool to and whatnot? If it's really going to come down to that, then you just need to be able to separate your identity from the identity of the spool. And I would say a combination of Tor and free proxies in that order to set up and then access that account. And just keep in mind, and I'm going to touch on this in a minute, that the free proxies are just as questionable when it comes to... Huh? So... Yes, don't worry, we're getting there. I know where you're heading with the comments on Tor. We're getting there. We're getting there. Okay. Understand the dangers of JavaScript, okay? They can be countered, but it's painful. If you've got a mail client, or you're using a web browser as a mail client, and it's interpreting JavaScript, yes, someone could be running an evil Tor exit node, so when you exit there, it injects something into your stream, some Java stuff in there that'll, like, say, do a DNS lookup from your client revealing what your IP address is, among other things, okay? You are putting your trust in whatever exit node you're going out of. And the Tor people, they do say, they recommend, well, look, don't use ActiveX, okay? Don't use, have that stuff turned off. Turn off JavaScript. Now, more than likely, these free email services are wondrously painful to try to navigate and use and actually be able to do things like, I don't know, read email. If you don't have all these gizmos and doodads turned on, because how else are they going to serve up all these wondrous ads for you? So it is painful. Don't do stupid shit, okay? This is another way. I don't know how to put that, okay? You set up the account and say, I wonder if my anonymous email's working, and you send yourself a copy of the email to your home account. That kind of gives it right up now, doesn't it? Or you do PGP for it, and then you sign it with your key. Oh, gee, I wonder who that is. And of course, the obvious, you don't go on there and say, I'm dumbass. I'm going to tell all my friends about my neato, spiffy, completely anonymous dumbass account. By the way, I block all Yahoo, so if you all have Yahoo, I block all that. I block all the free email things. You would not believe how much spam that cuts out. Sorry, let me get spam preachy on you guys. Okay, absolute secrecy. You want 100% secure encryption and security. Okay, well, you're not going to get it, all right? You're really not going to get it, okay? But you can get kind of, I'm going to say just close, all right? You can get better than average, but it is impossible to do. At least, and again, that gets into the whole idea of randomness and stuff like that, because we don't have access to true random sources. Okay, one-time pads they're really going to be the way to go, even if you don't have a 100% random source. If you can get a fairly, really good random source, then you're much farther ahead in the game. But again, key management is the real bitch, and that is, one, you have to generate your pad. Now, if you're doing this pseudo-random number generator thing, do what now?
If you're using a PRNG, it's not an OTP. It's a stream cipher.
I'm talking about using something like Isaac. When you use something like Isaac, some algorithm like that, perhaps I should not have put...
If you were generating it by an algorithm rather than a random process, it is not an OTP.
Well, okay, and I'm not going to argue with you. I'm just saying you're going to have to generate some type of material that is in some semblance of random. Emphasis on pseudo. And so there you have it. You have this. And the problem with that is to even get decent random material out of a regular computer, just regular home computer, is slow. Okay, it's a very slow process. Your key generation is just maddeningly slow. And again, you have to make the thing at least as big as your plain text document. You probably want to make it a little bit bigger. And whatnot. And then you have to make a perfect identical copy of that, just one and only one copy of that. You have to hand deliver, and you really, because what are you going to do? Send it on the internet, in plain text? No, you don't want to do that. You're going to have to hand deliver that pad to the recipient somehow. You can encrypt, and XOR really is fine in this case. I still might recommend compressing it just so you don't have to deal with, there's a couple of reasons for that. One, you want to compress it because now it's smaller and you don't have to have as big a key. But also, can anyone tell me the one interesting...
Compress before the XOR.
No, not after, compress before the XOR. Compress before the encryption. Yeah, exactly. Or, yeah, exactly. But if you're gonna, yeah, exactly. If you want to just encrypt it, then fine. Well, hey, here's an idea. Just don't write it, and then no one will know, But where was I going with this? I was gonna make some extremely Sicilian point. Oh, okay. Here's something. This would have been the other trivia question if they would have said, let's do some more trivia for giving away stuff. But just out of, if anyone knows this, just yell it out. There is a characteristic, and maybe you shouldn't answer this because you probably know it right off the top of your head. But when you're doing XOR and you have plain text, just ASCII plain text, and you're doing XOR, there is a characteristic in your ciphertext. Can anyone tell me what that is? You're real close. You're missing the upper bits. You don't have the upper bits in there as a part of the XOR process. All the upper bits are gone, and so it's kind of another reason why you want to kind of like maybe compress stuff. I mean, not that it would it may not even help in this case, but nonetheless, someone could at least say, oh, I can see what they did with this ciphertext. You have to use the pad one time and exactly one time only. Then you send your message to your recipient, however you send your messages, and then you have to destroy both copies of the pads. And there's like wondrous stuff if you read about this type of technology and the way it was used, like say during World War II and stuff. It's fascinating how it was such a pain for some of our adversaries during the war to, oh, well, let's just reuse the pad, and that was how we figured out some of their secret messages and stuff like that. So it just it's a pretty pain in the butt thing to have to go through to do. All right, there are unbelievable amounts of dangers here. Obviously, I mentioned don't reuse the pad. Again, you may have plain text versions that exist on the endpoints. And if however you're sending the message, whether it's email, whether it's courier, you put it on a CD and send it via courier, conceivably someone could say, okay, here are the endpoints, and now you're right back to where you were previously when we were talking about the stream stuff, is that the adversary knows where the endpoints are. So you have to be kind of clever about that. And then, can you trust the recipient to adequately destroy the pad as well as adequately destroy the message? Odds are, if you're going to this much trouble, it's not some document you want just like lying around somewhere, either hard copy printed off or whatever. All right. So anyway, for those people that use crypto, and this is kind of a Milhouse kind of thing. I imagine Milhouse saying that. File drive wiping. Okay, this may be the last time I ever mentioned this in a talk. I've mentioned it 3 or 4 times in talks before, and numerous times on places like BugTrack and stuff, and I get kind of tired of saying it. This is the standard, the DoD standard for wiping data on a hard drive where it can be reused. You cannot, this does not apply to top secret and higher data, but this is the standard. It's a 3-pass standard. I know the guy that wrote the standard. He actually has worked at Black Hat, helped out at Black Hat before and stuff. And you see him, Jack Halloran, if anyone, yes, exactly, yeah, Jack. Yeah, he's the one that wrote this standard. This is the standard. It's a 3-pass standard. When I say wipe with a character in its inverse, like writing with, F0, then writing with 0F, and then write with random data and verify that last write on there.